we were brought up in a way that we were showed by the world that a girl child is nothing. Then when I grew up, at some point I got confused, of which I think it was not equal. It was not meant to be equality, it was supposed to be equity. Because there's a difference between equality and equity. We are supposed to tell our girls that you don't empower them beyond the family setup. You're supposed to tell them, in as much as when you're in a relationship or when you're married, that man has to be the head.
The setup, the culture in West Africa is a woman is a woman and a man is a man. And when a man talks, a woman has to keep quiet. It is like that in the West Africa, especially in Nigeria. In Nigeria, men are men. But in Kenya, we have a way of the way we deal with ourselves.
Now, Sir Georges, can we shout from the family levels? Because what I see, Sir Georges,
yes,
we want to blame Matara's father for Matara's actions. Now, in the year 2023, Femicide count Kenya recorded 152 cases of killings. It is barely 3 weeks into January 2024, and already Femicide count Kenya is saying that there's already 4 killings into this year, and we're just right into this year. Now today on Kati Kati Show, together with my co-host, the one and only
Sir Georges,
and me and Tezi, we are going to engage with the panelists here and get to understand what is the real situation. Vitu ziko aje kwa ground, so that we can try and unravel this mystery as we get through this hashtag end femicide now and the total shutdown hashtag that's going on. Let's see what we as the panelists are feeling. Guys,
because I don't understand why we're finding girls are being killed daily.
Yes.
What is happening in this country?
Yes.
Why are people, people killing one another?
Yes.
Are we turning to be beasts? So even in the bush, you rarely find an animal killing one of its own.
Yes.
Very hard. But here in Kenya, we are finding people are killing people.
Yes.
It's very hard to see even an elephant killing another elephant.
Yes.
What is happening?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the question. What is happening? What is going on? What position are we taking in this situation? And before we delve even deeper, let us allow our esteemed guests to introduce themselves so that you can get to know more about them. Seated right next to me.
My name's Edna. I am a wife, a mother, and a leader in the society.
Thank you so much, I'm Tezi, for this opportunity. My name is George Ochieng. If you like, you can call me the Crane. I am married to a wife and fathering 3 children, and I'm happy to be here today with you guys, and we'll enjoy this moment.
Yes. I think Sir Georges, you should introduce yourself again.
I am almost seated to another Sir Georges.
Yes.
However, it's not Sir Georges, Sir Georges. George Ochieng.
George Ochieng.
George Ochieng.
Yes. Now, Edna.
Yes.
Unaona situation. Things aren't working out well.
Yes.
Mambo imekuwa ni ngumu. Wanawake wanauliwa. Yes. And you being a woman, what is your stand? What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Let's look at it like this. What age of girls are being killed? That is number one question. What age of men who are killing them? Because apparently they're being killed by men. You look at the age is between 20 to 20. Let's put it 35 at most. The boys are 35 and girls are in their 20s. What does that tell us? One, there's a lot of bitterness, especially in our boys. The bitterness, now we should find out why is that bitterness in them? Because you can't just wake up one morning and just kill someone. It could be something that you've processed for a long time. For you to get into a position, especially the killings that we are seeing today, they look more planned. It's not something that just happens. So the question is, why are they being killed? Why are the girls being killed? Because you look at the girls, there are those small girls who are really running too much to life. Meaning there's a phase that they've passed. There's something they've not been told. That life, you don't run so fast with life. So I think we need to ask ourselves, why that age? And who has failed? Because when I look at it, I feel that the society as a whole has failed. Why? Because you look at these girls, the girls are supposed to be mentored by people like us, or even people who are older. The fathers who are supposed to mentor them are there running with small girls. The mothers who are supposed to mentor them are running around with boys. The church is just preaching something totally different for these girls. So these girls looks like they're not getting the message that they're supposed to get from the right people. That is how I see it.
The Queen,
Yes.
what is your opinion?
First of all, allow me to condemn the act of killing of our ladies that has been happening for quite some time. Now, it is bad that we are losing our girls into the hands of men who think that the only way of solving problems is by killing them. Now, my point goes to the girls, before I go to any other person, that our girls have to be very careful with the way they address men. That our girls are also supposed to be very careful with the way they address issues that come up in their families or in relationships. I'm saying that because a case in point is when I saw a man killing his own wife because of a text message, and that happened in Kisumu. Our girls have to be very, very keen and aware of what is likely to happen if they talk to their husbands or boyfriends the way they want. Because the world is awash with the devil has taken over the world. And the devil is riding on every single mistake somebody does in making sure that he wins. Now, if you look at the killings that have been happening, as my sister has said, it is happening to the girls that are still very young. And these young girls do not want to be patient. They need to get money, big monies, as early as at the age they are, while there is a lot of time they need to wait before they achieve goals. Now, we also have as a society to give good education to our children, create awareness in them, telling them that life is not all about quick money. Yes, money is good, but we need to put them through a system that will enable them to know that money does not just come within a short period of time. The virtue of patience has to be instilled in our girls. And this is the responsibility of our parents, the society, and even the government. Our society in particular has failed because there are no platforms that have been created there to create for our girls to access education that will enable them to grow knowing that it is only hard work that pays. Our girls have believed that through what they have, through their bodies, they can mint money. Something that is now claiming their lives. Let us teach our children right from a young age, right from the childhood, wakuwe wakijua kwamba life is money, yes, but there is a system, there is a procedure that can be followed for this money to be found. Wasikuwe na haraka, wasikuwe wale ambao kazi yao ni kuona mtu na kuona pesa, wakati wanasediusiwa, the moment you have shown them money, they respond very quickly. And then finally, what is important, let us also encourage our girls not to entertain a lot of online seduction. You get that? So that we do not get our girls falling into the traps by men who are there with an intention of getting these ladies and then they kill them. A case in point is when we saw these ladies being killed in Airbnbs. Most of these girls were seduced on social media. And you get surprised by how cheap our girls are becoming. Msichana anatongozwa kwa Facebook, anaonyeshwa good things, anafall, anaitwa kuja, they go. You see that? So you even go to somebody you have not even met, somebody you're going to meet for the first time, and to make it worse, they're going to meet in an Airbnb, and that is where you find our girls being killed. Let us instill the virtue of patience in our ladies.
Yes.
Let them wait,
Yes.
let them work hard and get what they've worked for, not cheap things that they're getting from money, who are using them and finally killing them.
Sanyoje, umesikia mtizamo wa crane? Umesikia mtizamo wa crane vile anasema? Hebu tupe mtizamo wako.
Me, I think nadhani it's not a very serious problem. Killing is a serious problem, but what is causing people to be killed, these girls to be killed, in one way, it's like we have put our lives online for money.
Yes.
Because mostly you find those people who are being killed as they do, some of them as they do prostitution. Because like I would say, like those ones I talked about in the Airbnb, they are finding their partners online. And actually, if you look at the girl that was killed in West, it's like this guy used to send them money first, keep on sending the money until they realize this guy has real money. So it's like a community, as youngsters, they are longing and crying for money. The only problem we are having is people want to be rich, as our brother is saying, be rich very fast. I don't know whether we don't realize that we can also make our own money. As I always keep on saying, money is within you, it's in your head. And anytime you want money, think on how you can work hard, not work smart. You see, there is a season when it has been like people have been taught on how to work smart. And money does not come by working smart.
No.
Working smart is like, for example, doing prostitution. That is working smart. Working smart is like conning people, wash. People need to realize that when you work hard, you get a reward. You are rewarded by working hard. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're doing, what kind of job you're doing, as long as it's a good job, it's a respectable job. You know, so you don't expect to get money from people by being smart. Just dressing up, what do you think you are selling? So people also want these guys, most of these guys who are there, some of them are serial killers. So people want to kill. There are people who does and to kill. So if you are going to hook up with somebody on the social media platform, and this person you don't know him, you have no idea what kind of a man is that, and then you are meeting in a secluded place, then of course you are in for a road shop. So it's good for us to understand that we must be hard workers. Yeah? We must be able to have a vision in our lives.
Yes.
Not expect other people to provide for us. Now there are also those men who are really, you know, when you are dating somebody also, you need to understand what kind of man you are dating. If somebody is insecure, then that is a person you should not even desire dating. If somebody wants to control you, you know, that is what they call witchcraft. Because somebody will want to control you, want to see what you are, I mean, you can't even make a joke with your friends. If you make a joke, it's a big issue, then that is also somebody you should not even desire dating.
Yes. No, the claim.
Yes.
We have heard from what our second panelist, Edna, spoke about. Edna said that the boy child, it starts with the boy child, according to Edna. The claim.
Yes.
What has happened to the boy child? Because the one who's perpetrating this act, mostly, I say with Edna, it's the boy child. We are not seeing, that's why it is femicide. Hatuoni sana sana wanawake wakiua wanaume.
Yes.
What is happening with the boy
Now,
child?
it is true that the boy child has also become so bitter.
Why?
And I think this is also emanating from the way our boys are being brought up also. Because you realize that the same way a boy or a child sees his or her parents behave is the same way the children behave. Now, it is incumbent upon our parents to make sure that we show a good example to our children and find them to know multiple ways of solving problems as they grow up. The problem is, right now, if you look at the current families, most families are families that are there to use war and brawl as the only means of solving their own problems. I think that our families going forward should find amicable ways of solving their family issues, because those are the things that our children are learning from. Secondly, we also need to take to also teach our children, especially the boy child, that our girls are also part of us. So that we don't look at girls as tools that we can use and kill, maybe for our own personal gains. If you look at the cases of Airbnb killings, you'll find that most of these things are money driven. I'm not very sure, but the report I have is there is some kind of dirty business that is happening between the perpetrators of the killing and some people somewhere who want to be given some parts of the body. I think that's what is happening. Now, if that is the case, the word is if.
Yes.
If that is the case, then we also need to teach our boys that they need to work hard and not believe in cheap acquisition of funds. Because in as much as it may look cheap, killing is expensive. You get that? Mm-hmm. So it starts with the families. Let us teach our children well. Let us teach our boys well. Let us put that environment conducive for the existence of girls and boys, so that we don't look at boys as source of minting money. Let us look at them as our sisters. Let's look at them as our wives, people who are there to help us, and not people who are there to help us get money through killing them. I think it is very important to do that.
Sergeant, Crane is talking here about the family. He has really, put, I think, a lot of, the responsibility within the family setup. Is it only the family setup?
Number one, I think,
yes.
It's not that, women are very good in shouting.
Yes.
It's not like it's feminine. It's not like they are only women who are being killed.
Yes.
In fact, the rich boys, the elderly men are killed. You remember Cohen,
yes.
For example?
Yes.
He was killed. Nobody was there to shout for him.
Yes.
You see, women, when they have a problem, they shout.
Yes.
Now, what is happening is, men who are rich,
yes.
most of the time are also killed by their lovers.
Yes.
Remember, like the other day, we had a story of a certain teacher, yes. The principal. It's the same case. So, but when today, because we are speaking of girls, what is happening is, I was reading another story in another magazine, and they were saying that the West Africans, West African people believe in witchcraft.
Yes.
So they are saying like they want to get that blood to go and feed some chameleons, reptiles. There was a story like that. So it's like, also our girls need to understand, you just don't go to a foreigner because he has money. These guys are trying to do witchcraft, So if you get into you start involving yourself with foreigners, people you don't even know where they come from, then there is a problem with that. Of course, the family, we need to teach. You see, the boy child has been neglected. For a very long time, people have been talking about girl child, until we have empowered girl child too much, so that the only thing a girl child thinks about is money. That is it. In Kenya, a girl thinks about money. When you want to court with a girl, marry a girl, he is asking you, what do you have? What kind of money do you have? What kind of car do you drive? So there is a problem in our culture, in our family setup, because that is where we are being taught on. You understand? What
yes.
he's saying is our family setup is wrong. We need to change our perspective. We need to start teaching people on hard work.
But Sir Georges, just like, you're talking about the family setup, but is it only the family setup? Because the boy, Edna, the boy does not only exist in the family, right? Sir Georges.
But it begins from the family.
You see, family, when you talk of a church, is a family. Yeah?
No, we're talking about the nuclear family.
No.
Family.
When you are talking about the family,
yes,
is a basic thing, and that is where every rules are set. So that now, mostly, for example, even in some places now, they prefer taking their kids. If you have 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy, you prefer taking a girl to school, because we have been taught that when you educate a girl child, you educate the community. So most people are investing a lot in girls and neglecting the boys. Yes. So that's why I'm talking about the family.
My thinking,
yes,
is that it's not only the nucleus family. How about the schooling system, the government, Edna?
Okay, let me begin.
You guys who are talking to our boys. Where are you? What are you doing, Edna?
Let me begin by saying all these things, they start from childhood. And our role as a parent is to grow the child and you release them to the world. The question is, when you release your child to the world, is he ready? Is he enough to face the world? Have you prepared your child well enough that he can go face the world in whatever challenges that he can get? For instance, me, I said, okay, me, I am a mother of boys. I have boys only, actually 5. And I was brought up in a family where girls came first. I saw the way we were brought up as girls. We were brought up in a way that we were showed by the world that a girl child is nothing. Then when I grew up, at some point I got confused, because we were now to a point that unaambiwa wewe sasa mwanamke, this thing of equality came, of which I think it was not equal. It was not meant to be equality. It was supposed to be equity, because there is a difference between equality and equity. We are supposed to tell our girls that you don't empower them beyond the family setup. You are supposed to tell them, in as much as when you're in a relationship or when you're married, that man has to be the head. That is what we do not know. So when we come, we want to express ourselves and show that mimi ndio yule siniliambiwa mwanamke yuko hivi. The man gets mad because the ego within the man does not allow him. Umwambie umshikie hivi, haimkubali. That is when violence comes in. But I feel that if we can train our boys well in a way that they know their place, automatic, kuna vitu, submission comes automatic. Because I'm thinking, unapata wasichana wadogo, you want to shout to a man who feels that I am the man who has this lady here. Definitely violence has to come in. That is how I see it. So
a good point there. Because you see, a man is a man, a woman is a woman, and we will live like that forever. Now, we are not saying that when you're a man, of course a mature man is supposed to take control of his ego.
Yes.
He's supposed to take charge of his, emotions. But now you're dealing with youngsters, 2 youngsters. As we said, it's 20 to 35.
Yes.
You're dealing with 2 youngsters, and the man feels, I am the man. So, and you as a mother, you have taught your daughter, if you are given a lemon, they say you know. So in other words, you're telling your daughter, you are even better than that man. And so these two bulls cannot sit on the same neo. So that is what is causing this commotion, this problem.
I think kuna methali nasema kwamba asiyefunzwa na mama yake hufunzwa na ulimwengu. And I look at it this way. Yeah, when a child is not well taken care of and taught from the family setup, this child is likely to meet somebody outside there who is also not taught well by the family. I am seeing the situation of today. I'm seeing the situation of what is happening today as a result of that. Somebody from somewhere in Nigeria was not taught by the family on how to handle girls. You get that? And a certain girl somewhere also in Kenya was also not taught by the family how to address herself and how to approach boys and how to take care of herself. And these are two crooked people coming together, trying to come up with something, and they are now finding themselves killing each other. You get that? So my point is, we have to really talk to our families to make sure that they teach their children in the right way before they release them to the world. Because if you dare not teach your child is likely to go outside there and definitely meet somebody who is also not taught. And that is when you hear your child being killed.
Again, you see, in the West Africa, the setup, the culture in West Africa is a woman is a woman and a man is a man. And when a man talks, a woman has to keep quiet. It is like that in the West Africa, especially in Nigeria. In Nigeria, men are men. But in Kenya, we have a way of the way we deal with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So when now our Kenyan girl starts dating a Nigerian, and you've seen some of them being thrown from 20th floor, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is the problem we're having. We are not able to match the culture of West Africa and the culture of Kenya together.
But friends, you know, there's something I'm trying to understand here. Because we keep on saying, teaching. But why, my thinking is, if you sit with a lion, if it walks like a duck,
it's still a lion.
If it walks like a duck,
if it's a lion,
talks
it's a
like
lion.
like a duck.
It walks like a duck.
It's still a lion.
You see,
It's still a lion.
It's still a lion.
Yes.
So if at the family setup, even in the schooling system, wachana tu na maneno ya familia pekee.
Yes.
In the schooling system, there must be someone who had seen, for instance, this guy called Matara, who killed the lady in the US.
Yes.
His behavioral, changes. Mbona hatukuangalia mapema kama shuleni, in the church, even in the family?
Unajua, there is that thing tumeambia watoto vijana, that kuwa mwanaume, do not cry, do not do this. Some men, in as much as they are going through pain, they want to keep it. You might not know that this man is going through a pain. There is a way that men have been put. Sometimes, as women, I'll cry it out, I will share, I will do it. Mwanaume ataenda nayo. You can walk with a man, na utajua is going through something. And that is something that I say it's wrong. As a man, try to share what you feel that you have, because saa zingine unaweza pata shida ya Matara ni ile tu angeongeleshwa tu na hiyo maneno ishe, because unaweza pata yeye he was going through a pain that is hit.
You see what Edna is saying? Shida ya Matara ni angeongelea.
But you see now,
shida ya Matara kidogo. Shida ya Matara ni kitu moja. Angeshikwa.
Hakwenda.
Yes, we have juvenile schools. Now, if you see your child is behaving in such a manner, why don't you forward that child to the authorities?
On the contrary, everybody talks about Matara as a very good person. Everybody.
That is it.
At home is a saint. In the village is a saint.
Neighbors.
In the knee is a pope.
Ni kawaida kwa Afrika.
No. Where he was buying chapatis, the food.
Yes.
The girl says he was very good person and he used to pay him in time. Even if takes food from him, you will always send money on his M-Pesa.
But I want to refute that. I want to refute that before you continue.
Yes.
Because like Matara, tumesikia kesi. Actually, kuna wengi sana wametoka, right?
Yeah.
Wametoka wakisema he did this to me, he chained a woman. We have so many victims. Wale wametoka complaining a period of 2 years. Complain kwamba the same guy did this to me.
Yes. But you see, the problem is most people are cowards. Now you see the situation.
Yes.
Where he was doing this is he has called you to go and do prostitution with him. Okay? He has called you to go and have sex with him. So you can, once he asks you, you cannot come out and claim that he has done it to you. So people are silent. And that is the problem we are having.